Welcome back to another recording of 18 Matters. That is Atlantic Matters here at the University of the Bahamas. We had a great conversation with Kendrick Thompson before he became the new national decathlon record holder. So here's Kendrick a little bit about his background, and he takes off talking about his childhood experiences. So listen in, do enjoy, be motivated, and above all, go Mingos.
Uh, Island life is fun. But growing up as a child, all I wanted to do was get out of the house. So I used to be on bikes. I used to like sports. So I used to like play every sport: basketball. So softball was actually my favorite sport. Then in 2013, I think a track coach came. He came to school where I was at from Jamaica, and he started track there. So I went in the track and field up. And he had me.
Which school? Which school was this? Which school did he come to?
Central Anderson.
Central Anderson. Okay.
He's from Jamaica. Yeah. And he had me doing running first. Then when I throw the javelin, he started letting me throw the javelin.
Okay.
Then he said I might as well do the decathlon. And he started teaching me the hurdles.
Okay.
I said I didn't like it because I only wanted to throw. I didn't want to run. I didn't like running.
Because, and throwing is still your area to this day, right? You're pretty good at the shot put, discus, and javelin, right?
Yeah. That's when you get on the line for sprinting and running, you know, the little space coming there and throw it. You don't have that much space. It's like throwing more. Until I grew a bit. So I want to take a pause though. I want to not go into high school too quickly. So primary school, what was it or who was it that kept you interested in sports? Like, is it a family thing? Was there somebody in high school that you looked up to? Like, why were you so intrigued with sports? Well, when I was in primary school, I used to always hang with people who almost twice my age. And they basically used to be on the court, playing basketball, fixing bikes. So I used to be right behind them doing those stuff. And I just wanted to be like them. But that's how I get into sports and all that stuff. Would you say you were keeping up with the competition? Pardon me? Were you keeping up with them? Like, although you hung out with them, could you say, like, if they went for a little run, you could keep up with them, or if they played softball, you could throw with them? Like, were you keeping up with your age bracket or with the people in your age bracket? I was actually better than them because anything you teach me, I just catch on to it fast. Right? Even with popping a bike, we call it popping, wheeling. Yeah. You catch on to that pretty quickly. I wanna make a joke there. So if you don't follow Kendrick, a small movie on Instagram, the first thing Kendrick did when he landed back in Andres was post a video of him riding a bike, popping it. And I want you to imagine Kendrick is a 6'4" guy, right? It's pretty tall. it looked like he was abusing that bike. Like the bike was crying, but that's a lot, but that's island life, man. We have a former athlete, Ruben Goodman, good friend of mine. He talks about the island life and popping the bike too. Yeah. But that's some good thing. So let's go back to high school. So this coach introduces you, and how or when did you go from just practicing it to the Cariffas? Talk about that. We was practicing from 2013, but in 2014 is when I really started traveling to track. I never traveled before 2013. So in 2014, I went to high school nationals, and he put me in they had the decathlon for the multi-eventers. So he put me in that, and I won it. I'm going to hit you at an island level. Was that your first time traveling? Not my first time traveling. Oh, okay. That was my first time traveling. Yeah. My first time traveling for sports. Okay. Because I don't want to be offensive, but I have a lot of people from Family Islands, and they literally will be like, my first time traveling was coming to COB, you know? And I'd be like, what? They say Nassau is like Miami to them. But, so you travel and talk about that Carifta experience. How was it for you to get outside of Nassau and go to Carifta? Well, I was actually excited. Even my community, they even had a parade for
because there were three of us who made the team that year. So they had a parade for us. We was excited to go on the trip. When we got the trip was actually the Martinique. We went there. Well, that was a wild experience.
I just wanna comment. So anybody on IG, I want to be respectful to the telecommunications companies in the Family Islands. No, they don't have the same capabilities as New Providence. I know that from traveling. So we're able to hear Kendrick, but his video is on pause or frozen, and we can't control that. Okay, he's on the best Wi-Fi he could find in his area, but we really want to listen in to learn his story. Just for anybody commenting. All right, so continue. So you talk about going off. It's a wild experience. What made it a wild experience? What happened new on that trip that, you know, this young man who was experiencing all kind of stuff on Andres? What happened new on this trip that you never experienced before?
Like, that was my first time traveling over to the Bahamas. So actually, when we went there, I was expecting, you know, you see things on TV like in the States.
Mm-hmm.
When I go on there, I was expecting to see big hotels and so on.
Mm-hmm.
When we get to that's a crappy hotel. So
where was this? Where was the Grift held?
In Saint Martinique.
Saint Martinique, okay. So, and it was a crappy hotel?
That was actually the worst hotel over there. They put us there because...
But one second. Are you comparing these hotels to hotels you've stayed in now that you're in the UB Mangoes program? Or that's literally the worst hotel at that point in your life you've ever seen?
I mean, it's worse than... It wasn't the worst, but compared to hotels we have over here, it was basically the same. The hotel I traveled to with the Mangoes was 5-star.
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Go Mangoes. We just give you 5-star hotels. I like that.
Yeah.
But all right. So and on this trip, when was it that you would meet Ken? When would you and Ken meet?
Oh, actually, on this trip, he wasn't actually a decathlete as yet. He went there to do. He was doing high jump and long jump. I can't remember which event he went there for.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he went there for long jump.
Mm-hmm.
Then the following year, he started to compete in the heptathlon, decathlon.
So back on you. So your first year, you went over there. Did you medal?
No, I didn't. Like, I placed it 4th in my first year.
4 out of how many? You remember?
I think it was out of 16. I think. Yeah.
That's good. That's a victory, bro. For something you didn't even want to do, I think that's a huge victory.
I was scared the whole way through.
What was scary about it? Is it the same thing you talked about? How in sprints and in racing, it's like ready, set, go versus throwing, where you can take your time. But what was the scary thing about it?
The crowd, actually. I wasn't really prepared for the crowd. I wasn't prepared for the crowd. That's what really got me shaked up.
And you hadn't learned to control or manage the crowd. I know. I saw Ken do this thing. I ain't gonna lie. I've fallen in love with sports because of the UMI Mango program. But Ken does this thing like, you know. And when I first saw him doing it, right, I thought about all these movies I watched. Like I was just like, I just like clapping to get with it. But is that necessary when you're an athlete? Is it good to learn how to control the crowd?
Yeah. It's good to learn how to control the crowd, especially in the jumps. To give you the extra boost to push, go further or higher. Because pole vault is a very scary event. So when you got the crowd.
Also, describe now. Remember, you have people listening in who have never done some of the things that you've done. Like they have never grabbed a pole and leaped into the air and put all of their trust in the pole. That sometimes breaks, right? So
yeah.
If you could go through that process of why it's so scary, just for anybody who's listening.
Because many things can happen. The pole can snap, maybe have enough speed to carry you into the bed, because you need to carry a lot of speed to bend the pole to actually take you up. If you don't come with the speed, you will never get in the bed. I actually make some of my teammates. He's a scary runner, headboard. Me coming jogging. And sometimes Sometimes you like to use the heavy pole.
Right.
Enough time when he plant, poles be so heavy you can't take him up. So he's in a box. He's in a box. We set it on the rubber. Yeah.
So it's all about picking the right pole, because I've heard you and Ken mention how you would prefer your pole. And if anybody's listening from Bahamas there or from the government, like, they need to get you all equipment, right? So you can really do what you need to do. But so you have to pick the right pole, you have to come with the right speed. And then what about that feeling when you're in the air and you're lunging? How does that feel? I've never done it, so I'm curious. How does it feel?
That's actually the good part about it. The scariest part is planting and going up. Once you plant and go up, it feels good when you're going up. But when you planting, it's scary. Because that's where all the accidents happen. Planting and trying to go up. Once you're ready up, you're gonna safe. But
what about when you're going up and you realize that, hey, I ain't gonna make this pole? Like, what goes through your head when you up there, bro?
All I be saying in my head, if I stall out, I won't let go of the pole. So a lot of times I stall out, but once you let go of the pole and control the pole to try to bring you into the bed, because you know the bed, they have beds on the side. You try to control the pole to throw you on the side, because you don't want to land in the middle. That's where the ground is, the floor is, and the metal box where you plant the stick in.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot of skills. So anybody who's listening, Kendrick is an athlete who does everything, I would say. And what he's talking about right now is the pole vault. And it's something that I think, it sounds from what you're hearing, it's a thrilling event. It's something thrilling to do. And I think the excitement you show after you clear it shows that, and that's commendable. So we've talked about your journey in high school. What about getting the offer to come to the College of the Bahamas then, and now University of the Bahamas? When did that happen? How did it happen? And how did it make you feel? How did it make you feel?
I feel good because I always wanted to go to college. I wanted to be the first one in my family to go to college. I'm actually the first one. Yeah. And I think it was 2017 when I think Rubik Garnett came to me. And he said he building a track team at the University of Bahamas, and he wanted me to be a board on the team. I was like, sure, man.
That's how you answer? Like, big scouter come to see you. He gave you the sort of bother. Yeah, boy. That's how you say?
I say, sure, man. I have the ball coming up. And we went from there.
And this was a local meeting, Andres, right? Because I was actually with the program. So I recall when I believe Miss Roll even came. I think a lot of people came over there to scout you.
Yeah. No, that was actually in Grand Bahama. That was
in Grand Bahama. Oh, sorry. That was in Grand Bahama. Sorry.
That was actually my first senior team. When I went to Worlds, that's when the only first time in my entire life, in the entire life in the 400. In that same day.
It's good, man. Yeah. And I think you can meet that time, whatever that time was. You can beat it. I'm on Team Kendrick, right? So you work into the program, you've done Carifta, and you've had a chance to meet who now we know as Ken Mullings, right? So you come into the College of the Bahamas. You didn't come directly into it. So talk about that for any athletes who need that encouragement to stay with the program. How was it not being injected directly into the program? What kept you motivated to still train despite not being able to compete?
Well, actually, my teammates, I just like being around them, and I like the sport. So I say, to keep me from training and doing what I got to do. Because I had a dream and a goal to fulfill. You can't get put now. You come too far because I came a long way. I came very long.
I didn't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. So what I'm talking about right now is red shirting. And as in athletics, that's when, for some reason, you can't be directly on the team, but you still are on the team. So I've had the privilege to watch you for 1 year before, you exploded and you became
Kendrick Thompson, right? For 1 year, you were this guy who just would show up in the gym. And even when I doing the graphics, I would be like, who he is? And everybody would be like, that's Kendrick. And I'd be like, who? KJ. And I'd be like, but I don't know who he is because he don't be on the trips. You know? But now it's like you made a name for yourself. So what was, other than your teammates, what was going through your mind personally? Like you lived in the dorms as well, right?
Yeah.
So that transition from living in Andros to dorms, talk about that. Like, was it easy? Was it difficult? Talk about the transition to the dorms.
Well, it was easy. You got your own, not your own space, but you don't get people nagging you all the time, like when you're home.
Was it freedom then? It was freedom. It was freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, but sometimes you just miss your family. You miss your family a lot.
Okay.
So now I get a lot of time to bond with my family. So every day I feel the house with my family, just spending time with them, talking with them, playing dominoes, or what's not. Fishing.
Are you tired of them now? You want to come back to us? Are you tired of them?
I ain't tired of them yet. Not yet.
All right. But that's solid. Yeah. So you started the dorms, and the University of the Bahamas has dorms that fits, I think, 80 students right now.
Yeah. And
we're building a new dorms, which I hope before you graduate, you have a chance to stay in, which is going to house thousands of students, right? But coming to that dorm life and university, did high school prepare you for that, bro?
Well, actually, high school I went to in Grand Bahama really prepared me. It really changed me and molded me to the athlete I am today. Because before I got short temper, so I used to get mad fast. And when I went over there, they changed all of that because it was like a Christian school. You couldn't get away with anything.
What school was it? Can you name the school?
Tabernacle Baptist.
Tabernacle.
Christian,
yeah. I been there, buddy. I been there. That's a lot of Christian, bro. That's a lot of Christian there. Yeah, I frequent Grand Bahama when we doing the mascot, and boy, Tabernacle is one. But so, and did you have how was that transition for anybody who transferred from island to island? How was it to go from Andros to being a Grand Bahamian? How was that?
Well, it was hard because back home, sometimes I used to skip classes in Grand Bahama. But over there, you had to go to your classes, you had to study hard, you had to pass classes, even before to compete. You had to pass classes to compete. And my coach, he's had us studying. Mm-hmm. Like we come from practice, we dead tired. He had us studying after practice, we didn't shower until 10 o'clock in the night.
Oh man! So he prepared you for Coach Edna.
Yeah, he prepared me for what? Yeah, I hated it. Before that, I didn't know what studying was like.
That's good, boy. That's good. So we have gone over a little bit of a lot of your past. I wouldn't even say a little bit. And bro, as somebody who grew up in Andros, I have family in Andros as well. I frequent there. What you are doing for your people and what you're doing for your family is commendable. It's heroic, and I think it takes a lot of courage because I have a lot of UB students from Andros. I don't want to call nobody out, but I can call her one because I get a permission. D. D told me one semester cool. I thought D was cool. And D was like, boy, she just missed being around a Grammy, boy. And she's ready to drop out of college just to go back home to be with a Grammy. And I don't think, and I do think, because I talked to Joe and I talked to people in the university, right? But I don't think island students are really nurtured how we need to nurture y'all, because you guys go through more than the average student. Am I wrong?
Yeah, we go through a lot.
And I think we need to bring y'all together, because some of our alumni, Melissa Butler, she's from Eleuthera. She came back and did this whole scholarship for island people, right? It's something y'all going through that, college abroad. You know what I mean? Like if you go to Florida, whatever, yada yada, they didn't know what y'all going through. You know what I mean? Like
you really have to come over here and see.
Yeah, it's a different way of life. Yeah,
when you want when you want Andres and you grow up and you don't leave the island, you only think inside of Andres. You don't think outside of Andres.
And that's good, boy. That's good that you always stay routed. Now we're gonna go into a little game before we reach on the next uneven questions, right? Which is if you had to go against any basketball player on our current roster, who do you think you can go against? Who do you think you can defeat, and why?
I like go with the big fish. I go with Kimsey.
You would go against Kimsey, right?
Yeah.
And what would you go against Kimsey in? If it was a dunk off skills or shooting, what would you take on Kimsey in?
I'd say anything. Dunk, shooting.
Whoa, hold on, time out. Tap. First of all, you trying to tell me you think you could out dunk Kimsey?
What? You don't know?
No, I want to know for real. You're telling me on this recording that's going to be up for 24 hours that you think you could out dunk Kimsey?
I could out dunk him. I could do any dunk he could do.
Any dunk he could do. All right.
Any dunk.
Skill set.
I could do dunks he can do.
So, but you told me that you love softball. So for the skill set, you can take well. I mean, I ain't get this Kimsey. Kimsey is my boy, but you think you could out dribble Kimsey as well?
Yeah. Now I think I might cannot because I haven't touched the ball in a couple months.
But you're in physical education, though. You're in physical education, right?
Yeah.
So you're a PE teacher. You got to touch the ball.
Yeah, touch the ball, but I ain't touched it in a couple months. I ain't got it in a couple months since.
All right, so you give him in on dribbling. But what about shooting? You think you can take Kimsey Sylvester, the stallion, a.k.a. my uncle, a.k.a. LeBron? You think you can take LeBron in shooting?
I can shoot him out 3-point anywhere.
I'm going to clip this out, and I'm going to put this on my timeline. I'm going to put this on the Mingo's timeline. I want Kimsey to know what you say today. I want him to know. So it has been said, Kendrick Thompson has said that if he had to change sports or